Hello, this is Mandy with Connect Yoga with Mandy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this practice serves you. If you like my videos and you like my channel, please do me a huge favor and press subscribe. I really appreciate your support. If you like this video, you can press the like button and maybe even leave me a comment. This is Sammy, my little yoga puppy, who doesn't understand what it means when I say stay. Well, maybe because she's just 8 months old. So we are going to begin. So sit up nice and tall through the spine. Take a few breaths here. And then we're going to make our way to our backs. And you have an option here to sit with me in reclined butterfly position. So if you have a couple blocks or a couple blankets, and if you do have a block, by the way, you may want that to help along with this practice today. A stack of books can work. Just something that you can take to different heights to help to support you through some of the poses. Completely optional. So we're going to come back down to our back. And like I said, you can bring your soles of your feet to touch in a reclined butterfly if that works for you. Or you can even just bring your soles of your feet to the floor. Laying your left hand on your belly and your right hand on your chest. We're going to practice 3-part breath for our pranayama to begin today's practice. 3-part breath. So imagining our body, our torso as like a pitcher, like a water pitcher. And when you fill the pitcher, it fills first in the bottom and fills then towards the top. So as we bring the air in through the nose, we imagine the air coming all the way down through the diaphragm and filling the belly. And then as we take more air in, the heart center fills and finally the chest fills. And as we release, just like that water flowing now out of the pitcher, flowing out, beginning at the chest, the heart center, and finally emptying the belly. So we'll relax here in either reclined butterfly or just with soles of the feet on the mat. Feeling the lift in the hands and the release in the hands. And as you breathe through 3-part breath, just allowing and feeling your energy slowly begin to settle. Coming into the present moment, allowing yourself this time for self-care. Allowing the outside world to just temporarily drop away as you go within and connect with yourself. Connecting with your breath, connecting with your body. Connecting with all the sensations in your body. Now releasing control over that sort of breath and just allowing your body to breathe naturally. Continuing to breathe in and out of the nose. Now bringing your arms out long and gently blinking your eyes open. And we'll come into a supine twist. So bringing your knees up to a 90-degree angle and just dropping them off gently to the right. Placing your right hand on the outside of your left knee and taking your gaze over your left shoulder and taking a few breaths here. Maybe taking your gaze over the left shoulder and lightly placing your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Nice. Up dog, little doggy. And releasing the left hand, bringing the knees back to center and dropping them off to the opposite side. Taking the gaze over the right shoulder and gently placing your left hand on the outside of your right knee if that feels comfortable for you to deepen that stretch. Now releasing the left hand out long, bringing the knees back to center and bringing them to the chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, maybe just rocking back and forth here, giving that lumbar a little lower back massage. Whatever feels good to you here. And we'll take the left leg out long and just grasping around your right knee, just bringing that up towards your chest, bringing that left leg out long. Let's engage both feet, pointing the toes towards the ceiling and leaving that left leg hovering over the mat if that's accessible to you. And we'll switch legs, bringing the left leg in and the right leg comes out long. Now bringing both knees in, and let's just rock back and forth a few times here and do a little massage on that spine and crossing the knees, legs, and coming to a seat. Now we'll place our hands on the mat, come forward, and find ourselves in tabletop to begin warming the spine with some cats and cows. Fingers nice and spread nice and wide and stacking the arms or the wrist right beneath the shoulders and stacking the knees beneath the hips. Planting the tops of the feet nice and firmly on the mat. And we'll begin with some cow and cat. So we're going to drop the belly towards the mat, pressing up through the palms, reaching the head towards the sky. Nice inhale, connecting with the breath, and exhaling into cat, rounding through the tailbone, all the way through the spine, pressing again through the palms, opening the back body, tucking chin to chest, and connecting with that breath and movement, and moving at your own pace. Take a few rounds of cats and cows here. And when you're ready, coming back to a neutral spine, we'll tuck all 10 toes under and press up to a downward facing dog. In your first downward facing dog here, taking some movements, whatever's feeling good for you in your body. Maybe pedaling out the feet a little bit here. Maybe finding some stillness. And we'll shift forward to a high plank and lower the body down to the mat. So maybe bringing knees, keeping our elbows tucked nice tight into the body, hips and chest down to the mat. Rising up to a nice low cobra, taking the gaze forward. And once again, pressing back up to a downward facing dog. And we'll do that one more time, shifting forward to a high plank. And if your chaturanga is in your practice, shifting forward on your toes, bending those elbows, lowering all the way down, maybe coming into an upward dog, which just means coming up a little higher, keeping the thighs up off of the mat, tucking toes and coming back into a downward dog. We'll take our gaze forward between our hands and step, walk, or float to the front of the mat, coming into a ragdoll. So we're going to keep a nice generous bend in the legs, allowing our torso to rest on our thighs, allowing head, neck, and shoulders to hang nice and natural. Maybe grabbing opposite elbow with opposite hand and just opening up here through the spine, feeling grounded through the feet. Taking long, slow, deep breaths in and out of the nose. Maybe finding some movement here if that feels good to you. Slowly rocking back and forth, side to side. Maybe even slightly coming up off of the thighs and bending one knee and straightening the other. We're slowly opening up through the hamstrings, creating space in the spine and the neck. Opening through the shoulders. Dropping your hands behind your ankles and drawing your head towards your knees for a forward fold. And rising up to a nice flat back for a halfway lift. Taking hands to shins and reaching the crown of the head forward. Coming back down once again to a forward fold, and we'll slowly rise, making our way up to mountain. Engaging as we go, engaging the thighs, engaging the glutes, engaging the cores, taking a roll of the shoulders down away from the ears, reaching the fingertips towards the earth, palms face forward. Feeling strong and tall and solid in mountain pose. We'll rise the arms up to tall mountain. Take palms together and we'll crescent to the right. Opening up through the left side body, feeling a nice stretch. Coming back to neutral, and we'll go to the left. And back to neutral. And coming down once again to a forward fold. And rising up, halfway lift. We'll come down to a forward fold, plant our hands, step back, high plank. Lowering down to the mat, chaturanga, if it's in your practice. Upward dog. Tucking toes, downward dog. We'll do one more sun salutation, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Rising up tall mountain. Coming into a forward fold. Rising up to a halfway lift. Coming down, forward fold, planting the hands, stepping back, high plank. Lowering down to the mat. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. And we're going to step forward into a low lunge. So we're going to step the right foot forward and drop the left knee to the mat. Rising up to a low lunge. Dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's open up for cactus arms, reaching back and coming back up. We'll do that 2 more times. Cactusing the arms, opening through the chest. And once more. Beautiful. Now this is maybe where that block might come in. If you have a block handy. We're going to take our right hand and place it either on the block or on the floor on the inside of the right foot. And we're going to open up through the chest, lifting the left arm for a twist and take the gaze up to the left fingers. If you don't have a block or if it's accessible to you, you can bring your palm all the way down to the mat. Advanced yogis here can take a bind, bringing that left hand behind your back, reaching up with the right. Beautiful. Now we'll bring the left hand back down to the mat and the right. And then we're going to come up on our left toe, rising up to a high lunge. So we're on our left toe, nice bend in the right leg, rising up to a high lunge. Now from high lunge, we're going to move right into warrior two. So we're going to take a twist of that back foot, shifting our hips to the long edge of the mat, taking a 90-degree angle on the back foot. Our alignment in our legs should be such that our right foot that's facing forward, if you draw a line, you're going to intersect the center of your back foot. Taking a nice deep bend in that front leg. We want a 90-degree angle on that front leg. We want to make sure that we can see those toes, that we're not bending too far and bringing our knee over our toes. Arms out long, gazing over your front fingers. Warrior two. Shoulders down away from the ears. Nice strong stance. Now we'll flip our right palm up, reverse warrior. From reverse warrior, back to warrior two, and extended side angle. So bringing your right elbow to your right knee, lifting up on the left arm and gazing up towards the left fingertips. Option here to use that block once again. And bring your palm down to the block. Any height that works for you, or if it's accessible, all the way down to the mat. Rising back up, warrior two. Now we're going to go into a wide leg forward fold. So we're shifting our hips once again completely towards the back of the mat, and our feet come nice, wide, heels behind the toes. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. Bring your hands to your hips. Hinging forward at the hips. We'll bring our head, neck, and shoulders come forward, keeping a slight bend in your knees if that's more comfortable for you. Now we'll place our Fingertips lightly on the mat and just rise up to a halfway lift. Nice straight back and come back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Rising up to a halfway lift. Reaching the crown of the head forward. You can even bring your hands to your shins. Coming back down once more. Halfway lift. And down. We'll bring our hands to our hips and rise all the way back up. And we're going to take our right toes back to the front of the mat, coming back to a warrior two. Now from warrior two, we're going to shift that left foot, twisting, coming forward, coming back into a high lunge. And windmilling our hands down to the mat on either side of the front foot. We'll step our right foot back to meet the left in downward dog once again. Shifting forward, Vinyasa flow. Upward dog. And downward dog once again. This time from downward dog, we'll do that whole flow on the opposite side. So we're going to take and step forward with the left foot, dropping the right knee to the mat, coming up into a low lunge, cactusing the arms, opening through the chest, and rise up. 2 more times. Very good. Using that block if it's necessary. We're going to take that left hand to the inside of the left leg and reaching up with the right arm. Again, option here to bind. If you don't have a block or a stack of books and it's accessible to you, come all the way down to the mat. Wrapping that arm around and up and through. Nice, gentle twist. Now, bringing your right hand down to the mat, shifting that left hand out to the outside, coming up on the heel or on the toes of the back right foot, and rising up to a high lunge. And from high lunge, coming into warrior two on the opposite side. So finding your alignment, taking a moment here, shoulders down away from the ears. Nice, strong warrior two. Take a few long, slow, deep breaths here, in and out of the nose. And flipping that front palm, reverse warrior. Or peaceful warrior, as some refer to it. Coming back, warrior two. An extended side angle. Again, using the block or your knee, or coming all the way down to the mat. And rising back up to warrior two. Now we'll come into a wide leg once again. Feet, heels behind the toes. Hands come to hips. And we'll bend forward, hinging at the hips. Coming all the way down. This time we'll place our hands on the mat right directly beneath our head, centered. I'm going to place the right hand down and lifting up with the left for a slight twist. Taking your gaze up to the left fingers. And bringing the left hand down to meet the right, switching sides. And bringing the right hand down to meet the left, bringing your hands back to your hips and slowly hinging back up. Coming back into Warrior Two. And we'll windmill our hands down on either of the side of the left foot. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to take a little bit of movement in downward facing dog if that feels good to you. And we'll shift forward in Vinyasa once again. Knees, hips, chest, low cobra. And coming back to downward dog. Now from downward dog, we're going to come down to our knees like we're coming into tabletop. We're going to take our big toes to touch and coming into extended child's pose. So bringing our feet out nice and wide, our knees out nice and wide, and setting back onto our heels. Walking the hands forward, bringing your belly between your thighs, chest to the mat, and forehead to the mat. And just melting here, melting into the pose, feeling the opening in your shoulders and your hips. And we'll stay here melting for a few more breaths. Taking one more breath here. We'll slowly walk our hands back to and we're setting up for downward dog. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, coming up on your knees, coming back to tabletop, tucking all 10 toes, and pressing up once again to downward facing dog. Now from downward facing dog, we're going to center our left foot, and we're going to take our right leg high, opening up that hip. Taking a bend in the right knee and taking a few turns of the ankle in one direction, a few turns of the ankle in the other direction. Squaring the hips, straightening the leg. We're going to set up for pigeon. So we're going to bring our knee behind our right foot, right hand, and our foot behind our left. So bending and bringing, so you're almost like your shin is perpendicular, parallel to the front of the mat. The left leg's going to go out straight, so sneaking that back leg back. We want it to be nice and straight, so take a glance back and making sure that your hip Your leg is coming straight back out of your hip socket. If you need to place a blanket or a block beneath your right hip for stability here, that's perfectly acceptable. And taking a little time to find that comfortable position. The goal is to have this leg parallel. However, if that doesn't work in your knee, it needs to be comfortable for you. Taking a moment to take a slight back bend, lifting up, opening the chest, and then slowly walking forward to wherever you are comfortable in your body. You can come down onto your elbows, stay here, or you can stack your palms and bring your forehead to your palms, or that block could even come in handy for your forehead at any one of the heights. If pigeon pose just does not work for you, feel free to do reverse pigeon. The reclined pigeon, I'm sorry. So what we do for reclined pigeon is we'd come back on our buttocks, slowly roll back. We're going to take our right foot and place it just beneath the left knee, leaning back. You can interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and slowly pull your knee towards your chest, getting that same opening in the same muscle. And we'll just stay here for a few more breaths. And placing the palms on the mat, pressing up, coming up on your left toes, and stepping that right foot back to meet the left in downward dog once again. Pedaling the feet out here, taking some movement that feels good. Now we'll take the left leg high, opening up the hip, taking a bend in the knee, a few turns of the ankle in one direction, a few turns of the ankle in the other direction. Squaring the hip, straightening the leg, and we'll take pigeon pose on the other side. So the back of the knee comes behind the left hand. The foot comes behind the right. Reaching back with the right leg, checking to make sure we're nice and straight. Always with the option to do the reclined pigeon, taking that back bend here, supporting the left hip if necessary, and coming down to a forward fold over your left knee, your left leg. And just taking a few more breaths here. Lifting up on the chest, pressing through the palms, coming up on your right toe. Stepping that left foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Taking whatever time, whatever movement or stillness you need here. Pressing back on the hips. And taking your gaze between your hands, we're going to cross our ankles. So stepping our right foot behind the left hand, stepping the left behind the right, and coming down to the mat. We'll make our way all the way down to our back for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Time to lay down. Taking a roll of the shoulders down away from the ears. Allowing the legs to come out long, a comfortable distance apart. Feet fall open. Arms out to the sides, a comfortable distance away from the body. Palms down for grounding. Palms up for energy. Releasing any control over your breath. And allowing the body just to return to its natural rhythm. Bringing your attention between your eyebrows. And feeling the tension there just begin to melt away. Imagine a golden glowing ball of energy hovering just above your feet. This energy is beautiful and powerful, having the ability to melt your muscles, relaxing and releasing tension as it moves along your body, beginning now at your feet, ankles, the lower halves of your legs, your knees, the upper halves of your legs, your pelvis, into your belly and lower back, upper back, chest, shoulders, down your arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, and fingertips. Moving up to your throat and neck, your face, and your entire head. Bringing your attention within and just following the breath. Allowing thoughts to just drift on by. Gently begin wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, bringing the attention back into your body. When you're ready, you can bring your soles of your feet to the mat, elevating the knees. And gently rolling to one side in fetal position using your arm as a pillow. Taking a moment here to cultivate a sense of appreciation for the practice of yoga, for the connection of my body, mind, and soul. And taking this gratitude and appreciation and shining that back on your own heart. Taking this time for self-care. And when you're ready, pressing the palms into the ground and slowly coming back to a seat. I hope today's practice has served you as you move throughout your day. May you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your heart. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you from me and my silly puppy, Sammy. I hope you have a wonderful day.